Hi there, I'm joined by the Chief Digital Officer of the Travel Corporation, Dan Christian. It's great for you to join us here at the event, and obviously you've been circulating around. What are some of the big trends that you think have been identified here at the conference?
That's great, thanks Al. It's great to be with you here at EyeforTravel in London. It's my first time at the London conference.
Really?
Yeah, so I've been to San Francisco, I've been to Las Vegas, of course, even Amsterdam, first time in London.
All the fun places.
Yeah, and you guys had always said this was a signature conference, you have to be at London.
Have to be.
And I'm glad I did. I mean, I actually thought the caliber of the speakers was excellent, and I thought that the contributions from the opening session that actually, Rod Cuthbert from Rome to Rio, a big focus on mobility with having the air and rail focused on. And so for us, it's there's a big focus on land-based tours and activities. And so I certainly saw that here. And the themes that obviously they're impacting us, certainly the technologies that people were talking about. You had TripAdvisor here talking about search engine marketing and how they are acquiring customers. And so from a website technology point of view, digital marketing, I thought that the conference certainly covered a lot of areas that were very relevant and valuable for us.
Okay, and I mean, what would you take from this conference and take back to try and change your business? I know you're talking about social media, we're talking about partnerships. Was there anything in those areas? What kind of do you think I'd like to do that at the Travel Corporation?
Yeah, no, great question. I mean, what we would like to do at the Travel Corporation, based on some of the learnings that we've had here at EyeforTravel London, would certainly be leveraging some of the relationships of the partners that we've met here. And so the opportunity for us with respect to wider distribution and opening up more opportunities to sell our product online, which is primarily where people are starting to look for our tours and to book them today. And there were certainly a number of partners that we've met here that have been presenting on the panels and have been involved in a number of the sessions that should prove very valuable for us going forward.
That's great to know. You gave a really good talk, part of the panel over there.
Thanks, Alex. I appreciate that.
I have to say
exactly,
it.
No, it was your favorite. It was your favorite panel.
He's always my favorite. It's always great to have you here. I don't understand how you're so jolly and friendly all the time. That's something I struggle with. But you talked about how it's really important to build in startups and to have partnerships that work on both levels.
Yeah.
I don't know if you caught any of the startups in the awards. Did any of those impress you?
I did, yes.
What kind of areas are you looking for to try and incorporate some more fresh thinking?
That's cool. You were listening during the session. I'm very impressed.
I tried.
So, yeah, for us at the Travel Corporation and our brands, it's really important to work with startups in that ecosystem because we're constantly pushing the boundaries of where we want to take our technology and also just making sure we're relevant for where customers are spending their time. And a lot of these startups are figuring out these little gaps or niches, and we don't necessarily have the opportunity to develop as fast as they can create these solutions. And so I was most intrigued by the startups who've been here. I voted on, and I'll tell you who I voted for, which was Meeting Packages. I was quite impressed with their presentation, but nevertheless, there were a number of really compelling startups and quite a broad range of startups. I think that was one of the things that stood out in terms of who was actually on it. It wasn't just technology, it was, and it was across different sectors of travel. So it was, great to see the startup community here represented at EyeforTravel, and certainly some opportunities for us to work with them.
I should hope so. And how many, just for the audience, how many brands does the Travel Corporation have right now?
30 brands in the group.
30 brands, that's a tricky job to try and integrate all of those, especially with, how do you, just as a final question, how on earth do you try and keep all those brands together and make them work, especially with, you've got dozens of social media platforms. I mean, that's got to be a real challenge, right?
Yeah. Well, it's really fascinating. You asked that question. The Travel Corporation is a family-owned company, very dynamic, very entrepreneurial. Although we have, really 29 brands in the group, the objective is moving them all together at the same similar platforms and similar technologies, and making sure that we're leveraging the power of the group. So one of the interesting things, Alex, that I think that would be beneficial for you to know and is to share with you here is that we've got this concept of the 10-year wallet, which is across all of our brands. How do we make sure that a customer is going to come in for Trafalgar, Kentucky, Insight Vacations, Uniworld River Cruises, even Red Carnation Hotels? How do we make sure that we see the wider opportunity to make sure that they continue to travel with us every year? We don't expect that they'll take a Trafalgar every year or a Kentucky, but one year they'll take an African safari. They may take an independent trip with Brendan Vacations to Ireland, and then they may take that, the great South American tour that they've always wanted to do. And so I think
that'd be a lucky person.
That would be a lucky person indeed. And so for us, actually having a more holistic view of our customers, our guests as we call them, and making sure that we are continuing to serve their needs over time, I think that's what really changed the way that we approach, the way we look at all of those brands. And that takes a lot of the complexity out of it, because we're looking at one customer coming into any one of those 29 brands and really leveraging the opportunity over an extended period of time just to continue to engage them and make sure they travel with one of those brands.
So really the lesson is just to try and centralize their data, have one customer view, and then to try and give them something compelling to make them loyal and keep coming back.
Well said. I think you can come and work with us.
How much do you pay? I was Dan Christian, Chief Digital Officer for the Travel Corporation. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much, Alex.